Hello, art students. The first technique I'm going to show you is how to create a hard edge. To create a hard edge, make sure you have a pointed tipped brush and a nice flow of paint on your brush, because what you're going to do is outline each shape like I'm doing here and then fill it in. So you need to get as close to the edge as you can by working that paint or pushing that paint back and forth up to each edge of your shape. You're going to get the most control over your brush if you hold your hand like I am closer to the bristle end of the brush. Flip your paper around so that the edge you're working on is closer to you. And then again, just work that brush back and forth so that you're pushing gradually and slowly, pushing that paint up as closely to the edge as you can get. And you're using a really small brush as well. Once you have outlined the shape, you've created a nice bumper of sorts so that you can just quickly then fill in and not worry about going over that edge. Next, I'm going to show you how to blend or fade one color into another. One of the nice things about acrylic paint is that you can adjust how opaque or transparent it is by adding more or less water. And you can even fade a color out by just gradually adding more and more water to it, like I'm starting to do here. Up at the top, I've got more paint, and then down towards the bottom, I have less paint and more water so that the color is starting to get a little more transparent. Here I'm just adding water now to my brush and I'm kind of fading that color out. So that's one way to create a fade. The other is to blend one color into another like I'm doing here. So I've got a dark color, I've got brown, and I'm going to fade it or blend it into the orange. Now both of these areas of my painting are wet still, so I'm going to need to work quickly in order to do my blending. So once I've got all that color, I'm going to dry my brush off completely, and then where the two colors meet, I'm going to blend by using a tight circular motion, continuously wiping off my brush so that I'm removing any extra paint and then going back over the places where those two colors meet to gradually fade them out. Next, I'm going to show you how to do this when your paint has dried. So my brown paint is dry, and I'm adding yellow paint, and I want to fade the brown paint into that yellow paint. So to do that, I'm going to need to add more of that darker color. So I'm going to add more of the brown, and I'm going to layer it until the edge or line where the yellow and the brown paint meet starts to disappear. So I'm going to add more until I start to see that disappear, and then I'm going to wipe off my brush, get it as dry as I can, and where those two areas meet, those two colors meet, I'm going to blend that out. Again, using tight circles or a back and forth motion, and then I'm going to dry my brush, go to the next place where those two colors meet, and blend it again, and then keep kind of repeating that technique until it eventually, one color starts to fade out into the next.